I think the best way to answer this question, my latest business that we've opened, the Donna Bros in Holborn, is a 630 square foot takeaway doner shop, and that whole project cost us over £298,000. Right? It's a 630 square foot unit. It's pretty small. However, when you consider the initial deposit, the rental deposit that you need, the legal fees that you need, the building team, the building material, equipment, the automatic doner machines that we bought, the tills, CCTVs, and the initial stock, the working capital, that business cost us around £300,000. And the reason I wanted to give that business as an example, because that's the most recent one we opened around 3 months ago. Obviously, we're dealing with things with inflation, cost of building material going up, cost of equipment going up, cost of kitchen equipment going up. So it was a difficult time to open a business, but it's the most realistic answer I can give you, because that's what we spent as of today. And again, in 2016, when we first opened our first cafe, Drury, the whole thing cost us around £80,000. If you were to open that cafe as of today, you would need nothing less than £320,000 minimum. So, the times we live in is a bit difficult. Prices are going up. Inflation is not making life easy. Cost of material, cost of equipment going up. Our La Marzocco coffee machine, when I first remember buying it, was around 5,500 plus VAT. And for me then, that was very expensive. And now they're about £13,000. So the cost of a coffee machine has doubled since we've opened, like most things in our industry. Kitchen equipment, coffee machine, any electrical equipment. If you go and buy second-hand ones or the cheaper version, the cheaper models, it's all they're going to do. They're going to break down in the middle of service. You're then going to have to replace them and get a better quality. When I first opened my cafe, obviously I didn't have the money, I didn't have the budget to go all out and buy all the best equipment. But what happened is all the cheap equipment that I got broke in the middle of service, caused so much headache, it cost me more, right? So the best advice I can give, don't cheap out on kitchen equipment, hobs, ovens, doner machines, fridges, freezers, because the good ones last a long time. They don't break down. They're more reliable. Generally, the after sales and the technicians are much better on the bigger companies, the better companies. So that's obviously something I would highly recommend. I'll also recommend not to spend. So much money on interior design and all these fancy walls and tables and chairs. And look, I always say to my clients, spend your money intelligently. Just because you've got these expensive tables and these expensive chairs, it might not add any value to your business. My cafes, the way I design them, the way I make them look, I bought chairs on eBay, chairs and tables on eBay for a percentage of the price. It just depends on the vibe, the look, the feel you're going to go for, and you must spend your money intelligently. There's no point of spending so much money on a feature wall, making it look all weird and exotic, and assume people are going to take pictures in front of it. And nowadays, a lot of the feature walls that I see at venues, nobody's taking pictures in front of them anymore, because that feature wall thing is so Instagram, so 2019, and I don't see people doing that. So you have to spend your money intelligently. Okay, so wherever you're going to open a cafe or a food business, right? Don't base your decision on the other cafes in the area, because I hear a lot of the time, oh, there's already one cafe in the area and they're making so much money. I'm like, okay, but that's not a reason for us to go and open another cafe there. Why do you want to go and compete with somebody. It doesn't make sense. That person's food and everything might be much better than you. You know, and then sometimes I hear the fact that, oh, there's a cafe there and they're so busy and, you know, their food is not even all that. But surely they're busy for a reason. Are they busy because they're the only cafe in the area? Well, generally no, because there's cafes and coffee shops in pretty much every corner of London these days, you know? So you must base your decisions with, one, yourself. Are you comfortable, are you confident in yourself that the business that you're going to do, the food business that you're going to do at that location is going to attract, and the people in that area want what you're bringing to the area, right? These are the decisions that you need to make. This is the market research that you need to do. You know, if you're going to open a fancy cafe in a certain area, you know, the first question you need to ask yourself, do I think there's enough customers in the area to help me break even? Do I think the customers in the area have the disposable income for my price point, right? Are you going to open a workman's cafe where it's going to be cheap? But then, do you have the type of people with that demographic in your area? So, you know, whatever you're going to do, do not base your decision because there's other food businesses in the area and they're doing amazing and I'll steal some of their customers. Is the stupidest idea ever. Look at yourself, look at your business, because if you're confident that your food, your breakfast, your brunch, your coffee, whatever, is going to attract customers and you're going to do something amazing, well then go open it in the middle of central London. If you're so good with it, go, you know, people will come to you. So you have to know what your capabilities are, what your abilities are, before you're going to enter whatever area you're going to enter. %25. Whatever the project is costing you, you must have 25% of cushion, because, you know, realistically, if you open a cafe where you're going to, you know, it's going to cost you around £300,000, you know, 25% of that you must keep aside for operational costs, for your own personal living costs. You know, something can go wrong. Business might not pick up as quick as you have anticipated. You must have a cushion, because a lot of the businesses that I've helped opening up, that I've supported through my supported through my career, I've always realized they spend the whole budget on the project. Towards the end, they run out of money, and then what that then does is they can't spend enough money on chefs and the team. They don't spend enough time on training the team because they don't have the money to pay their wages. They don't want to hire food consultants or chef consultants to come and do food testing, trying out the food, testing the food. You know, when you start budgeting as you're going to start opening a business, it kind of shows, because the food doesn't come out good. You know, there's something lacking. So I would say, to be comfortable, whatever your business is costing you, it's always best to have around 25% of it sitting down as a cushion, as a stress level, because when you're going to open any business, you know, I guarantee you, whatever budget you have, whatever budget you've done, you're going to go over that budget, because until you've entered the whole build process, setting up process, things always come up, things always change, decisions always change. And if you haven't worked with good designers, good builders, good construction companies, things will always come up and your budget will go out of the window. Just don't go for the cheapest quote. Cheapest quote, I can tell you something for free. Cheapest quote is always going to be the most expensive quote. When you're going to build a, you know, cafe, high-end cafe, or any business, be it a supermarket, be it a gym, you know, if somebody's giving you a very cheap quote compared to other people, just, you have to question it. You know, in my experience, earlier on in my career, I always went for the cheaper quote as well. But what I realized later on, that cheaper quote always turned out to be more expensive. And good people are not cheap. They will have a fair and reasonable price for their time, for their effort. You know, well, the quickest and the best advice I can give you: look at the building company's portfolio and look at what they have done. And if you've got the time, physically go to the places they have built and look at the details and look at the finer finishes that they have done, and also look at the, you know, the wider picture. Go to the toilets, look at the toilets, look at the quality. If they've opened the restaurant and it's been, you know, it's been there for 1 year, look, go to the toilet. Are things breaking? Are things still looking good? You know, are the floors screeching? If you look at the skirting boards, are the finishes, you know, 10-10? Look at the chalking around it. You know, have they look at the finer details that they've done. If they are good after 6 months, after 1 year, they're probably a good construction company. But if you're, you know, going to choose the cheapest quote over all the other quotes you've got, then good luck to you. Right now, in today's economy, whatever business you open, you're not going to pop straight away. You're not going to be busy straight away. You're not going to have a queue. People are not going to be running to come and eat at your place just because you've done 2 posts on Instagram and you shared it on Google My Business, and it's not going to work that way, right? So you have first things first, you need to have a budget where you can be patient. Your food might be good, your venue might be good, but people, you're going to need to be changing people's habits. So people, you know, when you open a new cafe in a certain area, people in that area already have a coffee routine, they already have a breakfast routine, they already have a brunch routine. So for you to be able to change that, it's going to take time. So you have to be patient. Your food might be 10-10, your venue might be 10-10, your service might be 10-10. It might just take a little bit of time for people to, you know, get out of their way to come in, eat from you. You know, if you've opened and if you had, you know, if you had a PR budget that started 3 months ago and you spent 20-30 grand on PR and the whole area knows you're coming and then suddenly you launch, people start coming in, that's a different case scenario. But from experience, people don't spend PR budgets like that before they open. So, and the second most dangerous thing you can do, the second you open, 2-3 weeks later, you're not busy and you don't have tons of customers, you don't have a queue, you start doing knee-jerk reactions, you know, special offering this, special offering that, let's add burger to the menu, let's add crepes to the menu, that cafe is doing, you know, waffles, amazing, let's do waffles and make it colorful. You shouldn't do that. If you've got a concept, if you've got a business model that you want to start off by and you want to use, stay at it, keep at it, because your business is not going to be booming from day one, right? When you start doing knee-jerk reactions, your staff get scared, your kitchen gets scared, your chefs get scared, they start worrying about job security. So your job as a new business, if you believe in what you got, if you believe in your food, if you believe in your service, if you believe in your concept, right? You keep at it, you work at it, you just try to improve your marketing communications. You might want to work with a PR company. You know, if you think your food is good, there's no problem with your food, just stay at it and don't do knee-jerk reactions. Review your business, review your menu every 3 months. Don't do it every 2 to 3 weeks. The misconception is, unfortunately, that running a cafe or a coffee shop is easy. Running a takeaway food business is easy, or a restaurant, you know, not being a restaurant, I can learn how to be a restaurant. I can teach myself how to be a cafe owner. One of the biggest problems our industry has seen is that every person which had a little bit of savings, or, you know, people where they had a little bit of money and they want to open a business for their wife, daughter, cousin, X, Y, Z, you know, went into the cafe industry because it's seen to be easier than operating a restaurant. The hours are more social. You know, it's coffee. It's got high margins. What is it? It's just a bit of, you know, pancakes. It costs, you know, pennies, and you sell it for high amounts. People had these type of misconceptions, and then what you realize is all these cafes are popping up everywhere, opening everywhere. They're getting bigger. They're getting more exotic with, you know, more colors. If you look at the food pictures, there's more, you know, more colors, more fruit, more exotic fruits, and it's just going crazy at the moment. And what people realize is once they go into it, they realize how difficult and they realize how time consuming, how energy consuming it is. And you know, in the past 6 months, the amount of cafe owners, especially the first time food operators, have called me because they want to sell their business, or if I know anybody that's interested and you know they want to get out of the industry. And right now, with the way the market is going and slowly entering a recession, interest rates and inflation, cost of living, low consumer spending, what we're realizing is food businesses are struggling, obviously, right? And when consumer spend reduces, when consumer demand also reduces, you know, it affects food businesses first, because food is now seen to be a luxury. And in these environments, a lot of them want to sell. So anyone that's looking to open a cafe or a food business and they think it will be a, you know, walk in the park, it will be an easy operation, I'll tell you for free, it's not. The market is difficult, managing a business is difficult, staffing is difficult. You know, you must be well equipped, well educated, with very good understanding of the market to be successful in the cafe scene at the moment. Hiring is probably one of the most difficult skills to learn for any business operator. At first, obviously, we made a lot of mistakes, but what I found what works for me really well, before I employ individuals, right? If I get good energy from them, if I get a good vibe from them, I don't make a straight away yes or no decision. I don't give them only, you know, one trial shift and then take them on. I generally like to give them 3 or 4 paid trial shifts, because what I realize is a lot of people during interviews, they're agitated, they get a bit panicked, they try to impress a bit too much, and you know, going into an interview is not easy for most people. Going to an interview can kind of let a lot of the good staff that I employed were actually not very good at interviews, right? But once I, you know, get a good vibe from them, get a good energy, when I get good energy from them and I feel like this person might be the one, I let them show themselves, let them show their skills, let them show how good they are on the coffee machine, you know, serving people, serving customers. That tells you more about a person than an interview will ever tell you about an individual. So generally, that has worked for me, and that's also worked for me in the sense that where for certain individuals may be good, when I put them in a paid trial shift, they actually weren't as good as I had anticipated. So, you know, I don't like to give them, you know, 1 or 2 hours trial shift and make a decision. I like to give them 3 or 4 paid trial shifts. And whoever's listening, if you're taking anybody on for a trial shift, make sure you pay these people, because you're bringing them on, they're giving you their time, they're giving you their effort. Make sure you pay. Well, my advice to most cafes right now, the simplest thing you can do, it's, you know, try to run special offers with low cost items, food cost items where food cost is low, and you can plate it and design it in a way that you're making the customer feel as if though they're getting a good deal. You can price those items intelligently. You know, you have to make it as if though the customer is getting value. Anything that you do, you have to be customer focused, value focused, because right now everyone is looking for a deal. Everyone is looking for I don't want to use the word cheap, but they're looking for quality at good value. And if you have the ability to you know, change some things in your menu, add certain items to make it look like you're giving them value, is the best thing you can do right now. Another thing business owners can do, which I don't really see it happening a lot these days, you must push customer loyalty. Even if it is through a customer loyalty app, cards, you have to give customers value. You have to give customers a reason to return. You have to, you know, respect their decision to come to your business, spend money at your business. And how would I try to bring them more often, more regularly to the business? And you know, most of it in this day and age, you know, a lot of cafes have good coffee. You know, giving good coffee is pretty standard right now. Giving half decent food is pretty standard right now. You know, a lot of the cafes have the same cake supplies, the similar bread supplies. So, you know, trying to compete with quality these days is not the easiest. So you must offer incentives and reasons for customers to repeat purchase, to come again. And the best way to do this, one of the easiest way to do this, is by offering incentives through loyalty apps and loyalty situations. I think I'm going to upset a lot of people with this response, because the key there is not rocket science. It's my business partner Ali. He's there 24/7, speaking to customers, creating friendships, creating customer loyalty, speaking to customers and speaking to them, with their first names, finding out who they are, where they work, how their day has been, how work has been. He's been creating friendship and loyalty there for the last 7 years. For the first year, me and him, we're working there, we're making friends out of customers, we're talking with them, we're explaining who we are, we're talking to them about our journey and all of that. And what we realized is a lot of our customers, they like very simple things. Customers really enjoy being respected. Ask them about their day, how they're doing. And if you do this regularly, when customers realize you're a genuine independent business owner, enjoying what you're doing, respecting your customers, taking care of them, and just showing them respect and kindness for thanking them for coming to your business. What are you, when customers used to come to my business, when, after they left, I would always say to them, thank you for coming. One time one of my staff members asked me, why are you thanking customers for coming? I'm like, because they've chosen my business to spend their money out of 100 other cafes in the area. It's my responsibility to thank them. And customers can see you being genuine when you're humble, and they like that, because after a while, customers choose businesses because of the owners and how the owners are, right? And I think that's a very, very important thing to achieve. So, a lot of businesses that are trying to do something different, don't. Just be there, be at your business, talk to your customers, give them good service, respect them, and just be genuine with them, just be humble with them, and I'm sure your customers will see and they'd want to come back. Look, every business has their peak. There's only so many, based upon your seats, your covers, where you're at capacity, where you can't serve any more customers. But each business individual is different. So some people might want to be taking home £1,000 a week as profit. Some people might want £3,000 to £5,000 pounds a week. But you will only know when you're ready to expand your business and grow your business based on two factors. One, do you have enough money to fund the other business comfortably, right? Two, do you have the team or the business partner or the setup to successfully manage and operate a second business while not affecting your current successful business? If you have both of them in place, happy days, go open another one. But if you have the money but you don't have the team, the second you leave your current business, then this business the numbers here will start dropping. Then what you realize, you've got a second business, but your main business is now kind of mediocre. It's not bringing as much as money. So when you come back to your current business, try to revive it and so on and so forth, then you've got a new business that's going to need more of your attention. So these are the two most very important factors that you need to keep in mind. Obviously, these factors are different for everyone because everyone's situation is unique, but this is the most important two factors I will say from my own experience. Well, unfortunately, what I wanted to do, I wouldn't have been able to do because I didn't have the money at the time. I would have wanted to buy the best kitchen equipment, the best front of house equipment. We bought the best coffee machine because I didn't try to cut down on that because the coffee company that I was using, Allpress, they educated me a lot, and they said why I needed the Lamazocco coffee machine and so on and so forth. So I couldn't. Apart from that, I wish I bought all the best kitchen equipment because they cost me an arm and a leg over the years changing them, and when they broke in the middle of service, I would have to stop the kitchen service and lose money like that and refuse customers. Cost me a lot of money. Actually, the electrical rewiring of the whole business, I didn't do it early because I was quoted a quite high figure. Well, at the time for me it's quite high. Looking at it now, it was peanuts actually. But at the time, when you don't have the money, everything seems high. So we didn't do electrical rewire of the business, and what that caused was every time we bought new equipment or added equipment, we would have had a problem with the electrical fuse board. So, but apart from that, I wouldn't change anything that we done, because the most important thing we done with me and my business partner, we put our heads together and we said, whatever happens, we deal with it together. We worked hard, we focused. My business partner Ali takes care of what he needs to take care of. I take care of what I take care of. I manage it, and we work harmoniously. And all the mistakes that we done and we learned from, we're happy that we learned from it, because it humbled us, it matured us, it showed us that we have the character. No matter what it is, be it small or be it big, we'll deal with it, we'll work towards it, we'll sort it out, and we'll move on.